Here on my screen, I have a huge wall of text. Take a look at this. I'm not going to expect you to read this. I'm not going to read it out loud. I just want to make one simple point about your manuscript. And that is, you don't want to have big walls of text. And you can pretty easily look at this without even reading. You can just scroll this and you can see lots of text. This is a rough draft, one of my client stories. And I've actually only extracted part of it. There was another part to it. But see that wall of text? Go back through your Word file of your memoir manuscript and scroll through it. And do you see paragraph breaks? You don't see any paragraph breaks? That's a big issue. So make sure you've got smaller, digestible chunks, because otherwise, this kind of wall of text is intimidating to a reader. It's going to be hard for them to visually follow along. Another thing I notice when I look at this is there's people in the story. There's a Mrs. Temple. There's my mama. Another person named Anwar Ali. There's people in the story, which is good, but there's no dialogue. And I can just, again, I don't have to read the story, and I don't even know what the story is about just looking at it. I just have to look for the quotation marks. Where are the quotation marks? There are no quotation marks in this. So we know there's no dialogue in this, and that's a big red flag. A wall of text with no dialogue, that's going to be very unappealing for the reader to process, to go through, and probably a missed opportunity to get that dialogue in, to let us hear Mrs. Anwar Ali and some of these other characters. So those are two things to look for when you're going through your manuscript without even having to read it. Just scroll through it, look for the wall of text, and look for the quotation marks. And if you've got this wall of text, you got to start breaking it up at the appropriate points into smaller paragraphs. And whenever you've got characters, get them talking, get that dialogue in place.